We'll now go over customizing the services page. The services page is the bulkiest and most information-packed page of the entire complete website kit. So just bear with it. There is a lot of information on here and a lot of sections, but don't worry, it won't be too overwhelming because we'll be using the find and replace function and the global presets that are set in here as well. So if you need a refresher on how to use the find and replace or the global presets, just head on over to the support website. And I have a lot of stuff open here, but the support website has the quick customization tools like the bulk select and edit, extend styles, find and replace, and then how to use the global presets. So for this, we're going to be using find and replace styles and using the global preset. So if you need a refresher on that, just head over to that support page that's included with the kit and then just click on either one that you're needing a refresher on. So let's get started with customization. We are going to focus mostly on customizing the styles of this page since you probably already are pretty well versed on changing the text out and uploading images and changing out links. So let's get started with the customization. The first thing that we're going to do is change the background color of this header. So to do that, we're going to go into this module settings, and you can go ahead and change out the content here before you change out the background. Change the background here in the background tab and go ahead and set it to whatever color you would like. It's a good idea to keep it a separate color from this box shadow right here because we want them to be two different colors, because when it's in mobile mode, it will make a difference in terms of the colors overlapping. So you see that you don't want to have them the same color because then it will just look like this is just off center versus its own little section. So with that quick overview, to change out that background, just go ahead and set it to the background that you would like, keeping in mind that other color on the right-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and set this color to that one here, and I'm going to click Save. And then to change out this box shadow, I'm going to use the Find and Replace function, and that is because I do have some other boxes on this page that have that brown box shadow. So I'm just going to go ahead and change all of those brown box shadows out at once using the Find and Replace on this one box shadow here. You don't have to do that. If you want to make this a different color than the other boxes on this page, you're free to do so. You don't have to do the Find and Replace, but I'll show you how to do that. Once you're in this image module setting, just go ahead and change out the image that you would like to change it out to by clicking on here and then dragging and dropping or adding onto there. And to find the box shadow, it's not the background, but it's actually in the Design tab. And you'll scroll down to box shadow here, and then you're just going to scroll right past, and you're going to change the color out here. Now, if you're going to do the Find and Replace to change all of these brown colors out on the page, to do that, you're going to right-click in this color circle, click Find and Replace, and you're going to come down here to this box, the Replace With box, and you're going to click on it, and you're going to select the color that you want to use for that box shadow. So what will happen is any of the shadow colors on this page that are this brown color are going to now be replaced with the color that you select. So now that we've done that, we are going to not mess with any of these other options. We're going to just click that Replace button. It will take a second for it to save because it's going to change all of those the settings on the entire page. So it does take a quick minute to save those setting changes. Once you've done that, go ahead and click the Save button, and we'll just scroll down and take a quick look to make sure that those box shadows were changed. To make changes to the service menu here, it's set as a global preset. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on these three white dots, and then the changes that we make in this little menu is going to go across all of these boxes here. This is basically like a mini menu for this page, so that when you click on these links or you click on these boxes, it will drop you down to the areas that are specifically for that one type of service. So fillers will drop down to fillers. Laser will drop directly down to laser when clicked down here. And so somewhere up there, it'll drop down directly into those areas using anchor links. If you need a quick overview of anchor links, just be sure to refer to the Divi Basics area for anchor links. So we'll get started on customizing this area by clicking on these 3 white dots so that we can change the presets. Click Edit Preset Style. And then you can get started on customizing the different design elements by clicking on the background. You can change the color to whatever you would like, and that's set in your colors. So let's stick with this one. And then click over to the Design tab, and then you can make changes to the heading text color. You can make changes to the sizing of the text, and if you scroll up to text, it won't apply to anything in here because this is all set as heading text. Scrolling down, you can also change the alignment if you wanted. That would be under the heading text. So if you wanted to change everything to the right. And then if you need to change the spacing, that's there. And then the border color is under border. So you could change that to whatever you would like. And there is a box shadow there. So if you want to play around with the box shadow, you can change that there. So once you've made the changes, just go ahead and click Save and then click Yes. And we'll update those changes globally, which is basically just on this page here, and then click Save again. And then you'll get started on making those changes in each individual box. So if you don't have a certain service, you needed to delete them. Say you only have 4 services, so you needed to delete this one, which would kind of leave that open box there. What you could do is you could move this one over if you wanted. Alternatively, you could change, so if that happens, just click outside of it. You could change the sizing of this box. So what I did to move that was I just grabbed that and I just moved it to this open box, this module box. So if I wanted to change the sizing of this, I could change it by clicking on the change column structure, and then I could change that so that there's only 2 boxes in there, so it could also look like that. And then you could play around however you needed to make it look how you want it to look for your business. So that's how that is changed if you need to. And then I'm just Control-Z, I'm undoing all those changes I just made, just to let you know what I'm doing. So you could change that text by clicking on one of the boxes, clicking on the visual. If it shows up like this, that's not an issue. There's just a little glitch in the text editor. You can click on this text box right here. You don't erase any of these things that are in there if it shows up like this. Just click on that heading there, and then leave those 2 boxes there, and then just type in whatever your title is in between them. That just lets the builder know what heading title to use under the Design tab. So that H1 is, so that's what it's telling. It's just not showing up in that visual builder, which sometimes can happen. And then just click on that text button. And then once you're done with that, scroll down and click on Link, and you're going to put in your anchor link if you've changed it at all. Otherwise, you don't have to do anything with it if you don't add or delete any of these anchor links areas down here. And that's something that you can go over with the Divi Basics if the anchor links are actually set in each of the corresponding rows. So if you needed to make a change, even if you change the title of it, you really don't even have to change the anchor link if you just want it to drop down to that same box. The only way you would need to change it is if you want the box to drop down to a different area, and then you would need to go in and change those anchor links. So moving on, the next area we're going to work on is this area down here called Fillers and Injectables. Once you've reset the service menu and you've input your information here, you can go ahead and start working on these service menu areas. Now, these areas have the anchor link ID set in the green row settings. So if you click on the row settings for each area, you'll find the CSS ID in this area here. And you can change it if you would like, but keep in mind that if you change it, you're going to need to also change it in the service menu link. So that link is found here in the module link. You'll have to change it right there. Since this is a one page, you could also just get rid of this module link here and just put that little hashtag and then the CSS ID there. If you needed a refresher on anchor links, you could just go ahead and refer to the anchor links area on the support site. So that's just a quick overview of where those anchor links are found. They're in the row settings of each new service section. So if you wanted to change those, you could, or if you needed to look up which one it is in there, that's where it is found in the row settings under advanced and the CSS ID. So to change this background, again, this is a box shadow color. It's not a background color. And we do have several areas that have that same color. So we're going to change all of those at once. And if you prefer not to, you can go ahead and not use the find and replace. But to do that, we're going to click on the module settings in the image. You can go ahead and change out the image here if you would like. And then click on the design button, box shadow, scroll down here, and we're going to right click in that circle, click find and replace. And we're going to replace that color with the color of your choice. Let's see, we'll go with pink. And then once you have set that, you can click out to see what you've set, click replace, and then it will replace all of those box shadows with that background or with that shadow color that was there before. Give it a second to load. Click the save button, and then you can change out that image that's behind there as well. You can change out the content here and set the button link as you're scrolling down past. So go ahead and click that gear icon, click link, and then you'll set the page link from the dynamic content right in there. So once you found that page link, go ahead and click the save button, save again, and then scroll down. Once you've changed the box shadow of this top fillers and injectables area and you've set the link for this button, you can go ahead and scroll down here and you can change out these product names, or you can add services in here. You can do whatever you would like in there. That is a preset also. This area is set to the main product and services text imported. So if you're going to make any changes to the way that this looks in terms of text, that is the same text that is found in a few different areas. So go ahead and change that preset if you want to go ahead and change each individual one. If you want to change this whole area and how that looks. So down here is the frequently asked questions, and this preset was already changed in your styling guide. So if you want to make any changes to that, these are presets, and so you can change all of the toggles, or you can change each one or each section individually just by clicking on that module, and then you can input your information here. Scroll down, so you can change this background color to the pricing box. This pricing box, the light pricing box color, is found on a few of these areas. So the pricing is there, and then also the different services available area. There's that white pricing box that's back here as well. So if you wanted to change let me just double check this background color. Yes, so that's right. So if you wanted to change this area up here for this background color, you can do a find and replace, and that is in that row, and then click on the gear settings icon, click background. You're going to right click in this color box, click find and replace, and you're going to replace that background color with whichever color that you would like to on this page. So if you want to change it to that white color, or you want to change it to any of your other colors, go ahead and select that and then click replace, and it'll replace every white box on here that has this background color. And then you can get started on changing out the placeholder content that's on in this pricing box here. We'll go ahead and change out this box shadow color as well, and that will make the changes across this entire page once that's set. So that has set to that color. So once you've saved that background color and you've done the find and replace, go ahead and click that save button, and we're going to go back in there and we're going to do another find and replace under the design tab. Box shadow, right click on that box shadow color, click find and replace, and we're going to replace this box shadow across this entire page with whatever color that you would like. So go ahead and set that now. So we're going to replace that gray with this dark purple and click replace. And then you can go ahead and start setting your content in here. If you need to copy and paste or add any more of these product prices, what you can do is you can use the copy button. I'm just talking while the page loads. So you can click the copy button to add more in, or you can delete and change the structure of this row. Once you've made those changes, go ahead and click the save button. And if you want to change the color of these pricing box text, you can, without making changes to the entire preset, we can just change this color. So if you need this to be darker for just this box area, what you could do is click over to the design tab, click heading text, and you could change the text. I'm sorry, is it the text color? Let's see. I believe that's a heading color. So you can click on that heading text color and you can change it, and you can just hit the color that you would like for it to be. And then you could do extend heading text color to all text throughout this. Would be all the heading text throughout this row. So we'll do extend. And so that's how that will work. It just automatically changed all of those heading text colors without changing the preset to every single thing on this page. So if you needed to do that, you could. And then you could do the same for this next H2 heading color. So if you wanted to change that to something else without changing everything, you could go ahead and do that. So select the color you want, click extend heading to text color, and you can do it to throughout this row, and it'll change everything on here in terms of the colors. So once you've set that, you can go in and start changing each content field individually. If you need to add more, you can just hit that copy button to copy, and then you can add more, or you can delete as needed. So once you've done that, go ahead and set this service menu. Now, if you want to change this background color of this entire section, to do that, you're going to go ahead and click this blue section settings. There are a few sections that are this background color. So if you need to set all of them, so there's 1, 2, I believe there's 2, maybe 3 background colors that are this color. So if you want to set it to your background color, you're going to do that in that section settings. Background, we're going to do a find and replace. So we're going to find and replace this background color on this page with the color that you would like. Click replace. And allow it to load. And so that's going to change those 3 backgrounds for us. So once that has loaded, you'll see that those other backgrounds have also been changed. So go ahead and click that save button, and we'll move on to the next section. So you can go ahead and change the services information out and set the button link here. Now we're going to go ahead, see all those box shadows that we changed, those other colors that were up on this page up here. Let's see, where was it? We changed this box shadow, I believe. And so it went ahead and changed the box shadow color to all of these different areas. So the way that we change out the pictures, you just go ahead and click on the module settings and then drag and drop your images into there. And then to scroll down, you can go ahead and set the products available. And again, if you want to change the fonts, you can do without changing the entire preset. You can go ahead and click on the design, and then you can extend the heading colors as needed. So then you can go ahead and scroll down, and you can add information here if you have frequently asked questions, or you could add detailed information about services if you would like. This area here is your pricing box. This is the dark pricing box. So if you want to change this pricing box here, it'll apply to a few of the dark pricing boxes. I believe there's 2. So in order to change that, it's the same concept. We are just going to change this background color here. Click on background. We're going to right click, and we're going to find and replace. And we're going to replace this background color here with the color of your choice. So once we make this change here, you're going to need to also change the background color of this text. So go ahead and click replace. Allow it to load. And then you'll see that there's other colors that we need to change here. So in order to change that, you would change the global preset, because these are preset styles, or you could do extend, but I prefer to do the preset style. So let's do the background, and we're in the edit preset with the 3 buttons here. And then we're going to go ahead and set it to the same background color as there. So click the save button and click yes, and then click save again, and it will apply the changes to the other dark boxes on the page as well. And then go ahead and update the service menu link here. If you would like to make changes to that box shadow color, you can do so in the Design tab of the row settings under Box Shadow, and you can extend the box shadow color, but I believe you've already changed that. You can go ahead and set the pricing for your content here, and again, if you need to change any of the font colors without changing out all of the presets, you would do that under the Design tab, Heading Text, and then you would just select the heading text that you would like, and then you will extend that color to, extend that heading color throughout this row. So that's how you would do that. So moving on, we will go ahead, make sure to set that link. We've already set the background color. You can change out this image here. And we've already set that box shadow color. So unless you want to individually set that, you would just do that under the Design tab, under the box shadow. If you want to set those colors individually, make sure to set the button link here. We've already set this background color, reset it. So if you wanted to, so this is just a simple service area, just listing the services. If you want to have detailed information in the same way that this information is detailed up here, what you would do is just, you could copy this section, and then you would move it, just drag and drop this whole row all the way down here. And then you could just delete this row out if you wanted to have a detailed service section. And I didn't go over that earlier. So the detailed services section, it's just a toggle. So if you wanted to set, have more information here than just the basic information, what you would do is just input the information in this toggle here, in the title and the toggle. And then if you wanted to change the way the design looks, it is a preset. So you can set that in those white buttons and then edit preset style. And then you can go ahead and make any changes to that if you need to. And then if you wanted to delete any of these, you certainly could. If you want to copy them and add more, you can. And if you wanted to change the structure of the layout, you could add more if you would like, but then you're going to need to adjust the font sizing in order to match that smaller box. So that's how you do that there. So just a recap of that with the detailed services section. And then if you didn't want detailed services, you could do the exact same thing down here that we had done, which was, I'm going to go back into here and reset it. So then the editing history, I'm going to go into the clone toggle area, removed row. I believe that's where it was. Let's see, moved row, cloned row. So we'll just go all the way back and basically reset what we had done. Let's see, we can just get rid of that one that I copied. But if you wanted to have simple text up there versus those toggle boxes, so that would be the same concept, you would just copy it and then you would drag and drop it into the space up here. Let's see. So you just drag up here and then you could put that in there. So if you wanted to have simple services instead of detailed, that's how you would do that. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. So scrolling down back to this area, you can go ahead and set the information here, and you can add the any information to this area that you would like. You could extend the heading text color just as we did before. In this area, if you want to change the way this looks, we've already set this box shadow. Make sure to set that link. And then down here, if you want to change any of the text colors that haven't already been set in the presets, if it hasn't reset here, you could go ahead and set those colors there. So that is the services page. Also, if you wanted to add additional sections, you could add from the library. There are some sections in here that are they're quick adds, and so you can refer to that in the quick add section of the support or in the quick adds of your Divi library. And so there's found there in the add from library if you wanted to. I will go over how to break these up individually in a different tutorial. It'll be listed under this the bonus sections and adding pages individually for the services. So if you don't want one big service page and you want everything to have its own separate page, I have every section saved in your Divi library under the corresponding title name for that. And so you can actually create like a body sculpting page and just add the body sculpting section in there without having to add every single section in there from this whole page. And then I would just make sure to go back and review your services menu up at the top here and make sure that these service links correspond with each of your individual sections. So if you change the title of this area, say you don't do fillers and injectables, but you do like microdermabrasion or something, you would want to change that there. You don't have to change the ID link for it. It'll still drop down as long as you didn't make changes to that anchor link in that row setting. So now that you've finished with the services page and you've gone over the service menu and you've double checked it and made sure that it works, go ahead and make sure you've been saving your work and click Exit Visual Builder. And we'll now move on to the perks page of your website.